Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is day 12 of trading the 2 million Rand funded account challenge with you and showing you each individual step that I am taking along the way. And the profits, the loss, it really doesn't matter because I'm going to be showing you and recording this live. So today we caught a beautiful USD JPY sell. Absolutely amazing, really much an A-grade idea. There is in this video, I want you to understand and watch this full video because it's going to explain how management saved me in this idea in terms of cutting my loss a bit early and re-entering this position at a better price and a discounted price. So make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell, and comment down below what video you think I should make, as you guys have a lot of questions and not everyone online is answering them. So I'd love to provide those videos for you. So comment down below if this is you, and let's just jump straight into the video. So first things first, we want to identify flows. If you guys saw my day 11 video, which was yesterday, making some good profits and getting the account up some, at least a 1% gain, we are sitting at a position where we can take a little bit more risk, right? And because of what happened in the US markets, the Prime Minister as well as Sanae, I hope I'm again pronouncing her name right, but her coming into power in the Japanese government industry, leading the LDP, the Japanese market is still very uncertain. So when coming in today, we are definitely expecting still buys in the market because, as I said, the dollar has really been rising at the moment. We have seen the JPY market kind of start dropping, and we want to identify flows. So flows have definitely been bullish as of a past few days, and especially the market open. I mean, look at that market open. That is a massive gap in the market over here. So it's something I'm keeping in mind of, especially when getting this position, as I want to possibly see this close in the near future. But in terms of stats, if we take a look at USD JPY stats, 85% is green candle day if it breaks above, and then 88% red candle day if it breaks below. So that's something we've got to keep in mind of, and we are just waiting for how price action is going to develop, right? So as coming into this morning session, we were live with our students, and we're actually live on YouTube as well. So if you missed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn that notification bell so you can see that when I'm going on live streams again, you'll be able to catch the next one. So we can see price eventually extends itself quite nicely up until that point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out my demand area at this point, bringing it across, aligning itself with EMA. We are just breaking above the 5 minutes, breaking above the overnight high. So we want to see how price reacts. So we get an initial pull down into that area. And another thing I want to identify is taking actually our fib tool from the top to the bottom, and we can see we hit that 61 quite perfectly. So again, remember I said I took a first loss, and how management actually saved me in this idea. So we saw prices kind of hovering over that 61 the whole time, not really touching EMA. I would have liked it a little bit deeper, but then we saw price kind of just open up on that new 30-minute and push quite aggressively. So we didn't enter just as yet. We entered on the second movement because we were kind of hoping for price obviously pull back a bit deeper. So we entered our position at this point here, targeting that 27 mark with our stops below that level, right? Just below the EMA, which left us to a 1 to 2. And then management style would have been on the 3 minute. Okay, so 3 minute was hovering right there. So what I could have done, right, is actually cut my position at half. So I was risking 0.5% on this idea originally. So we could have taken a lot less of a loss than originally what we risked. Okay, so we saw price extend, we were a little bit in profits, but then started to rotate, and I actually did cut my loss a little bit late. I cut it a bit here. I didn't put my stop just below that level. I cut it. So we did take almost a 5% loss, but ideally we lost about 7 grand on that first trade. Okay, so ideally we wouldn't mind risking 1% on this idea because, positive is still really good. So once price extended itself, we actually entered our second position at that 61 mark, which is actually originally where we wanted that pullback to be a bit deeper, and then wanting to see that extension to that 27 with our stop just below that level. Now jumping to the 5 minute, in terms of management on this idea, we can easily identify if price starts to hold below that 5 minute EMA, we can look to cut the position even at 3K, which would have left that at 0.5% risk ideally at the end of the day. So we saw beautiful extension running higher. We got price extend itself, and again I did this live on this channel, so make sure that turn in the notification bell so that you can get in the next time too. And we can see, boom, we eventually hit TP, and this is the profit for the day. So we made 21,000 Rand excluding that 7 grand loss that we originally took. And, you know, that's a really good day. 1% up for the day. As we said, we originally risked 0.5% to make 1%. We could have actually been a bit more patient, ideally, with the first entry, but I will say management saved me. Second of all, the idea that I had was more of a V2 model. Okay, so I'm not upset that I entered this position, because we saw price start to extend itself and get that bullish momentum. But then out of nowhere, we did get that massive, 10 o'clock hour candle come in. And this is another reason why candle closures helped me so much, is because if we look at that 10 o'clock hour candle, it originally opened up bearish, right? Creating its bearish wick, hitting that 61 and then rotating. That's essentially why I took a V1 model entry at this point, hitting that 61 area once again and holding that EMA after price pulled back and starting to see that rotation to the 27 mark. And it did actually run a little bit further, and then obviously now to where price is currently sitting at. So ran just a little bit further. I took at that 27 mark, hitting that. It was 28 grand profits on this trade. So it was already a lot. It was that 1 to 4, ideally, risking 0.5% on the trade idea. So that's the trade for the day. As you can see, profits, we are one trade away from hitting that 60K profit target and getting a 50,000 Rand payout, which is absolutely amazing, right? Yes, it is only 2.5%, but that's kind of what I'm gunning for anyway. 2.5% is more than enough in terms of getting a payout. And if I can do that consistently every single week, or at least twice a month, we are making 100 grand a month. That's what we need to understand in terms of percentages and not focusing on the profit target every single time. Trading with larger capital is the better way to go. Of course, if you are able to put 100,000 Rand or 200,000 Rand, I'd say personal capital is king regardless, and that's why I still have a personal capital account that I trade, very similar to almost the size as the same of the funded account that I'm trading now. And I am pushing for payouts on that too. Maybe risking a little bit more because of there's no rules intact. But on the funded accounts, I treat it as salaries, and I'm diversifying myself in different areas, from high risk accounts to low risk accounts to medium risk accounts, and then also trading them on different days. I'll trade 2 accounts a day if the setup is really, really good. So on the funded account, we took a first loss here, but then I only entered on my personal account as well as the funded account on the second idea, the original area that we wanted to risk to make profit. So we made really good money today on the funded as well as the personal capital. So hope you guys are learning something again through these videos, how to manage a trade, where I cut my loss a bit early, how you can start managing your trades too, so that you don't have to take a full loss. And yeah, so I'm going to keep on bringing valuable content. I'm going to keep on doing this challenge until we get a payout, and then I'm going to be announcing the prop firm that I have been using in this challenge. I'll leave the link in the next video. If we get day 13 day, pass phase 1, pass phase 2, and get a payout, will be absolutely amazing. So let's see what happens. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn the notification bell. Peace out.